Hello traders, let us just quickly break down how to trade US30 on MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 from setup to execution. All right, so whether you're just starting out or you're shifting from Forex to indices, this is your guide to mastering US30. So first, what is US30? US30, also known as the DowJones Industrial Average, is one of the most widely traded indices in the world. All right, it consists of 30 major US companies and moves with a lot more volatility compared to most Forex pairs. All right, that means bigger price swings, which is great for day traders who love momentum and sharp market movements. Now, to trade US30 on MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5, to trade US30 on MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5, you first need a broker, right? You need a broker that offers it, okay? And then, different brokers might list it under different names like US30, DJ30, or DowJones. Once your trading account is set up, you go to the market watch. You can view market watch here, right? You go to the market watch. You right click, select symbols. You search for US30 or similar names and you enable it. All right. That is if it is not yet enabled on your chart, right? If it's not yet enabled on your platform, you can search for US30, right? Then you drag and drop. All right. That is if you are not yet loaded it on your chart, or you can just come straight to File, New Chart, and you just go to Indices and US30, right? So it depends on your broker, depending on the name that is used. Okay, let's check out MT5. Although this is the meta quotes, demo account. Let's see if we can. Let's see what name that MetaQuotes gave it. Okay, it's also US30. All right, but here we have USA30. You can see that this particular broker used USA30. You can see it here. This broker used USA30. You can see it's the same index, right? It's the same thing. This is USA30 and this is US30. You can see, but it's the same asset. All right, so depending on what your broker is using, you just add it onto your chart. All right. Now let's talk chart setup. You want to use time frames like the M15, H1, or H4, depending on your strategy. Okay, for scalping, you stick to the lower time frames. For swing trading, the H1 and H4 work best. You add key indicators like moving averages. All right, and add key indicators like moving averages, RSI or MACD, to your chart, right? Depending on your strategy still. If you have a strategy that you are already using, then that's absolutely great. If not, then just stay tuned, all right? Okay, so this is going to be to spot your entries and exit, right? Just keep your chart clean and avoid indicator overload. The next is risk management. US30 is volatile, so using the correct lot size is crucial. Start small if you are new. A one standard lot, a one standard lot on US30 is not the same as on Euro USD, okay? The value per point is much higher. Always use a stop loss to protect yourself and make sure you take profit. Make sure your take profit levels make sense based on structure or key levels. All right, let's say we want to just do a very simple analysis depending on your time frame. Okay, let's just work with a 1 hour time frame at this time. All right, so basically a very simple strategy that you can use is just price action combined with moving average and RSI. So basically, you look for areas where price has tested at least 2 times and gotten rejected. when you find such areas, you just plot your horizontal levels. All right. When you see an area where price has got to and got rejected, okay, if you are plotting on the higher time frame, then your execution should be on the smaller time frame. So now we are plotting this on the 1 hour time frame. We can go to the 15 minutes time frame for our execution. All right. So once you've identified these important levels on your chart, the next thing for you to do is to identify the prevailing trend at the time. All right. So at the time of, doing this analysis, we are currently in a sell trend, right? Although we seem to have a breakout. Okay, you can see this is actually a sell trend line, and then there was a breakout at this point, and it seems as if price is trying to struggle to gain direction because it has also gotten to the moving average and is now going horizontally. So it depends on where price finally breakouts. To make sure you always get confirmation when using this strategy. This strategy is quite simple. All you have to do is wait for a cross above the moving average and a confirmation from the RSI for a buy trade. Now let's get to the 15-minute chart. Yeah. All right. So now we can see that the overall trend was bearish, but it seems like a bullish breakout has occurred. So what we need right now is confirmation. So all you have to do is you wait for a confirmation candlestick. Currently, we can see that the price is consolidating. Yes, the price is consolidating. So we need a breakout either to the upside or to the downside. The price is already trading above the 50 EMA. This is the 50 EMA we are using in this chart and for this strategy. The price is already trading above the 50 EMA, but it's currently consolidating. So you have to watch out for a breakout. If a breakout happens to the upside, then we're going to look for buy opportunities. All right. But if a breakout happens to the downside, then we're going to be looking for sell opportunities. Meanwhile, before you enter your trade, you have to look out for the positioning of the RSI. If the RSI happens to be close to the oversold level and climbing upwards, that is a confirmation for a buy trade. If the RSI happens to be close to or within the overbought territory and climbing downwards, that is a confirmation for a sell trade. For example, you can see what happened here. You can see that the price dropped below the 50 EMA. It got rejected around this resistance zone, which we have plotted from the higher time frame. Although there was a false breakout here, that is the reason why you must always get a confirmation. So the price actually closed below that support. It closed below this 50 EMA, this particular candle. Before you enter a trade, make sure the price or that candle, make sure that candle has closed below the 50 EMA before you enter a sell, or make sure that the price has closed above the 50 EMA before you enter a buy. So in this case, the candle closed below the 50 EMA, and right after that close, we can see that the RSI gave us a confirmation. It gave us a go ahead. The RSI was close to the overbought territory and is already trending downward. So this was a good place to enter a sell right after the candle closed below the 50 EMA, right? So if we had entered a sell trade somewhere around here, a good place to set our stop loss would have been right above the nearest swing high. Okay, so stop loss can be somewhere around here, right? Entry for sell, stop loss above swing high. Then our take profit can actually be around support zone. So this is a very easy strategy to use for the US30. Or you can just watch out for the RSI dropping into the oversold territory. All right, your exit strategy depends on you. If it drops into the oversold territory, then you can go ahead to exit your sell trade. All right, let's look for a buy example now. Okay, we got a bullish example here. You can see that the candle closed above the 50 EMA. Make sure that the candle closes above the 50 EMA before you enter a buy trade. Make sure the candle closes below the 50 EMA before you enter a sell trade, and make sure you get your confirmation from the RSI. Okay, so we can see that the RSI gave us a buy confirmation because it was already very close to the oversold territory and curving upwards. So this was a good place to enter a buy trade after the candle has closed above the 50 EMA. Then the stop loss can be right below the swing low, and for your take profit, you can actually use resistance zones, or you can wait for the RSI to get into the overbought territory before you exit your buy trade. All right. Now, when is the best time to trade US30? You focus on the New York session, especially around the US market open, 9:30 a.m. EST, Eastern time, right? That's when US30 sees the highest volatility and liquidity, which means more opportunities. Avoid trading during low volume hours where price action is choppy. Okay, let's just finish up with some quick pro tips here. Do not over leverage. US30 can wipe accounts quickly if you are reckless. Use key levels and structure to plan your trades, okay? Not just indicators, just like we have discussed in this strategy, and always backtest your strategy. All right, always backtest your strategy. It is very important. Use a demo account as well. Okay, use a demo account before you go live, and keep your emotions in check. This index moves fast and can test your patience. So that is the breakdown on how to trade US30 on MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. Meanwhile, the strategy is the same across both MT4 and MT5. All right, it's actually the same strategy. Okay, yeah, you can use the strategy on MT4, you can use it on MT5. It's the same strategy exactly. All right, so if you got value from this, hit the like button to support the channel, and if you want more trading guides like this, subscribe so you don't miss what is coming next. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay sharp and keep learning.